Hey, what's up? John Charette here, and today we are talking about using an i7-11700K processor without a dedicated graphics card. Stay tuned if you want to learn more. Hey, welcome back. If this is the first time on your channel, I like to talk new tech, different gadgets, and today I was building this system here. I'll put these specs up on the screen here, just to kind of have an idea what's inside it. But what happened was I was kind of building a system with a bunch of extra parts, and I realized I ran out of GPUs. Sad day. And I thought to myself, well, Intel processors have the ability, as long as it's the K model and not the KF, to have integrated graphics, assuming your motherboard supports it. So I thought to myself, well, how bad can it be? I mean, can I play games? Could I sell this computer to someone, a young kid, someone who's in school, and could they still play Fortnite? So the last time I was building a system, I'll put a link up here. I built a pretty heavy duty system with a 5800X, 3080, and I sold that I think for $1,600 US. It's quite a bit of money for a student or a child. I thought to myself, okay, why not try and build a system that's a little bit lower end. I was able to build this system here without a GPU for $600 USD. Now that's not bad. If I can sell it for 800, I'm a happy man. So it really begs the question, is it usable for video games? We know that work from home situation, it'll work fine. You don't need a really GPU for that. So if you're just doing your normal web browsing, this computer will do great. But I want to know, someone who wants to play Fortnite, Apex Legends, League of Legends, all these kind of newer games that kids may want to play, can you get by with it? All right, let's start with Counter-Strike Go. This is one of the oldest games out there, so I assume it would work well. Let's see some footage here. Now, the average FPS I found was 32. Nah, that's a tough one. For most first-person shooters, minimum is 60 frames per second. We all know that the elitists want to go up to 144, 240, depending on if your screen has the hertz. All these tests were done at 1080p because that's a good rough standard. Anyone using a nice gaming monitor most likely will come at 1080p. So yeah, Counter-Strike comes in at 32, which is not bad, not horrible, not my favorite. Okay, next up is Fortnite. Super popular game. Everyone knows about it. You played on mobile. How well did it perform? It was by far the worst at 12 average frames per second. Next on our list is Apex Legends. Now, Apex Legends, I would consider one of the newer, maybe Valorant's newer, anyway, it's newer in the first-person shooter world, and I thought it would be the worst. It was second worst at 21 frames per second average. Here, check it out what that looks like. Okay, next up we have two titles from Riot. First up is Valorant. Now Valorant is super popular, one of the most popular first-person shooter games. And I expected after testing Fortnite, then Apex Legends, I assumed it was in the similar bucket of performance. Oh, was I wrong? Check this out. Valorant averaged 120 frames per second on an integrated GPU. This would be the same GPU that's in a laptop, a MacBook Air. It does not have dedicated resources, a processor specifically to make the graphics, and it's still able to do 120 frames per second. This was mind-blowing to me. Now, next on the list is another game by Riot, League of Legends. It's It's been around for years. It's not a first-person shooter, but it is a highly competitive esports title. How well did it do? Check out the footage here. 150 frames per second. Now this one I can understand. It's, isometric view, it's not first person. There's not a whole lot of action going on, but still, at 150 frames per second, this makes this game playable on pretty much any computer. Amazing, amazing. And last but not least, I decided to run TimeSpy, the 3D benchmarking tool, to better understand how it would compare to other systems. It was bad. It was really bad. It averaged in at 4 frames per second. I actually unlocked an achievement from Steam because I had a score that averaged less than 5 frames per second. So that was fun. So, moral of the story, Riot is amazing. I'm not sure what they do to make their games so optimized, but I was very impressed that the system was able to play both those games. So, which makes me wonder, do I try and sell this system at $800? Or, I decided, well, if I were to get a GPU, what would I get? What's still in the low end mid-tier market? So I looked for a used 3060. And I'm getting my hands on a 3060 Ti Founders Edition. Maybe there, focus. No, cool, good times. And so what I'll do next is part 1 of this video. Part 2, and test all the same games around and see how much difference, performance difference you get when adding in a $250 video card. We're not talking $1,000, $1,500 video card like the 3090 Ti I have in my main system. This is a pretty low-end graphics card in my opinion. So I'm very curious to see how much performance it'll increase. So if you like this, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below whether you think I should sell it with or without a GPU, and stay tuned for part 2. Thanks.